Yo, what's up, everybody? Stank Abbott in the house. Your beard is weird. Swagger Vance, Juice Willis, and as always, Young Clooney. And I'm coming at you with another episode of, you guessed it, Car Thoughts. And on today's episode of Car Thoughts, we're going to talk about expectations. All right. So I'm going to tell you the reason why you're unhappy a lot of the times is it's because you have expectations for others that are higher than the expectations of yourself. Mind blown. And I've been guilty of this too. Anytime that you have so much faith in someone and they let you down for whatever reason, you've just put way too much expectations on who they are as an individual. Maybe they've shown you that output before and you just expect that from them all the time. This isn't how it works. This happens a lot in relationships. We expect the other person to be our happiness. We expect them to be our entertainment, and we expect them to be more than they're capable of being. And now when we do this, when let's say your significant other is working all day and you just sit at home, not accomplishing much, not working on your personal goals, which actually would help a lot with that filling the cup, the self-fulfillment, and the not being so bored. And then they get home and your immediate point of view is, oh, I'm bored and I want them to be that. I want them to fill that void that I'm feeling. No, we fill our own cup here. And anyways, that's how it's going to be in my household from now on. And I never say these words. I never say I'm bored. I always find music or making one of these videos, some push-ups, anything, even cruising. So I have my guilty pleasures. I like to cruise Facebook endlessly. I sometimes fall into that abyss. Read a book. There are tons of things that you can do without your significant other. And fill your own cup. And remember, you can go out and eat with them. Never feel guilty for that. Maybe hide it from them, but depends on how mad they get. I guess that is one. That is a big trigger. You come home and you're eating Taco Bell, and the person that you're with, you didn't bring them any Taco Bell. Yeah, I could see how that can be a problem. But then you expected that Taco Bell, so that's on you. You could go out and get your own Taco Bell. I know a lot of these things sound harsh when you're solo, you're not in a relationship, but a lot of these things will help things from collapsing into finality. But we don't focus on them because we're too busy expecting what the other person's gonna be. Like it's remember that romance period that happens at the beginning of any relationship where the other person can do no wrong. And then all of a sudden you get to the point where it's like they're breathing and their nostril like makes a whistle and you're like, I hate the noise that whistling nostril makes. And then you start like nitpicking everything about that person. That's the point where expectations start to form around that other person. And you start hearing things like, oh, you used to be different. This is also a introspection thing. So communicating better with your partner, like, hey, I really liked it when you just massaged my feet without asking, and just like planting that seed in their head. Well, this is where the accountability bunny comes into play. Like the accountability bunny tells you that you have to create your own expectations. You set your own bar. Just don't set someone else's bar for them. You can encourage them, you can inspire them, but never set the bar for them and say, this is what you need to achieve. That's on you. Create your own checklist and complete that. And I've been that bearer before, like with working out and stuff, and you end up just having to be your own motivator. And no one else is going to motivate you for you. And don't expect people to hold your hand. I mean, at some point, we have to man up and we have to woman up. And no one's gonna hold your hand. You're older than that. You're an adult now. If you're watching this YouTube video, I'm assuming you're a full-grown adult, and you do what you want. But me personally, I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna have a list of accomplishments that I want to do for the day. Whether you want to call it goal setting, checklist, I'm just gonna have a short list of things. I'm gonna go make some money at work. I'm gonna crush it. I'm gonna come home. I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna eat properly. I'm gonna make beats. I'm gonna make these videos. I'm gonna challenge myself. I'm gonna challenge others. I'm gonna challenge myself to be a better person every day. I'm not gonna sit around and lay around and wait for other people to be the motivator that I can be personally for myself. And don't get me wrong, there's a community of people that I outreach to in those moments where I'm not feeling my strongest or my happiest. But these are necessary for me. These are people that I find to be spiritually motivating and uplifting, and they help me out in those times where I can admit I need a helping hand from another human being, and they are that pillar for me that that I can lean back on. That support is paramount for growth. But I also realize that I still have to set my own boundaries, my own expectations, realize my own needs, my own wants, and also my own purpose in life, and always reaching to attain that on the daily. And that's the end goal. So if you don't create those systems for yourself and you're just expecting other people to A, hand you shit, or B, be like constantly just be your entertainment or just be there for you. And there's plenty of other things we expect of others. Sometimes we have high expectations of interactions with new people. Like, oh, I'm gonna go up and say hi to this new person, and it's gonna be awesome, and they're gonna accept me, and I'm gonna be their best friend. And then you go up and you start talking to them, and they're like, "What is this guy talking to me for? Just, mess off, bud." And then you feel that rejection. You go, "Oh, that rejection hurt." But they're just not your people. Not everybody is gonna be your cup of tea. You're not gonna be everybody's cup of tea. But gosh darn it, you better enjoy your own tea, for sure. Because at the end of the day, you gotta go to bed. You gotta go to sleep with yourself. Even if there's someone that's lying next to you at night, bless your heart if there is, and you've earned it. I hope you're in a happy and healthy relationship. You still close your eyes. You're still your own person. You have to be your own individual. Even if you're in a relationship, you have to keep your independence, or else you just start to think of yourself in terms of just that being that relationship. And if take it from me, it's going to be super soul crushing when you're no longer a couple and you haven't done any inner work. Like, don't get me wrong, she could be the one. You could be together with her for till your last dying breath. Not really seen in our generation. My grandparents on my mom's side had that for sure. Bless my grandfather's heart. He's passed. But rarely do we see things last that long. Right? That was a generational thing. So for that to work, you have to have a deep, secure love of yourself. And I know my grandpa, he was a stubborn mule of a man, and grandma did it all in her power to wrangle him in, but he was a very masculine, firm man in his belief system. He would argue with her like it was a challenge, but a challenge he accepted every day. The only thing they expected out of each other was love. And that is it for my rant for the day. Expect more of yourself than others. If you don't, you're going to be very unhappy. He shouldn't have done it. He's just a boy. All right. Peace.